I was in Japan for 8 full days recently, and while I could have spent the entire trip filming trains, it was a family trip, so I only had a few moments where I can go out and film stuff. I still managed to film a lot, and do the other non-train related stuff we planned. Japan has some of the best trains in the world, and I wanted to film as many trains as possible on this trip, and by day 7, I did. But I wanted to film more. I managed to get 1 full day all to myself where I can go wherever I wanted within Tokyo and film as much as I wanted. And after months of planning, that day finally came and went. I did the same day trip on my Japan trip last year, but I didn't make a video showing off the entire day. This year, I thought I would make a dedicated video of my day, showing off everywhere I went and every train I saw. So stick around as I spend 1 full day railfanning as much as I could around Tokyo, Japan. Alright, good morning guys. It is currently almost 7 in the morning and I'm in Japan again. I'm gonna cut it to me doing a voiceover, explaining what I'm gonna be doing, and then cutting back to me. So, take it away, me. So here's how I plan for my day to go. I'll try to make this quick. I plan to visit 5 different areas, film at least 30 railroad crossings, and film trains on at least 5 different railway operators. This trip will involve a lot of walking and train travel for me. I'll be starting off in Shibuya, taking the JR East Yamanote line up to Ikebukuro Station, then transferring to the Seibu Ikebukuro line, going just 1 stop to Shinamachi Station, filming some trains there, then walk back to Mejiro Station, stopping at 10 railroad crossings along the way. Then back on the Yamanote line to Ikebukuro again, but this time transferring onto the Tobu Tojo line, going again just 1 stop to Kita Ikebukuro Station, filming some trains at that station, then walking around the area, getting 8 more railroad crossings until reaching Itabashi Station on the JR East Saikyo line. Then I'll take that line to Akabane Station and transfer onto the Takasaki line, going all the way to Miyahara Station. I'll explain why I'm going there later. Getting 1 crossing and some train shots there before going back south to Akabane, then transferring onto the Keihin Tohoku line to Oji Station to film the Sakura tram, one of Tokyo's only remaining tram lines. 6 more crossings, then back to Oji Station, taking the Keihin Tohoku line to Akihabara, then transferring onto the Sobu line to Ichikawa, and walking to the nearby Keisei line to film 7 more crossings. Then I'll take the Keisei line back 1 stop and walk back to Ichikawa and film some trains there, before finally taking the Sobu, Chuo, and Yamanote lines all the way back to Shibuya, where I'll end the day there. Whew, that was a lot to cover. Now let's get back to me in Japan so we can get started. Alright, now that you heard what I'll be doing, you're probably like, are you crazy, Michael? That's a lot, and you've never done anything like that. Well, actually, yes, I have. Last year on my trip to Japan, I did a day similar to this. I'll be starting off here in Shibuya, but first, I gotta prepare myself for a day like this. So much quieter this morning than it was last night. There were so many people. Alright, but yeah. Quick trip to the Family Mart to get myself prepared. Ohayou gozaimasu. That and that. Of course, I can always get drinks from a vending machine, but best prepare myself now. The only downside about my hotel is that it's kind of far from the train station. When I was here last year, the hotel I stayed at was literally right on top of it. The one this year, well, it was cheaper. It's about a 10 to 15 minute walk from Shibuya Station. Hopefully I won't waste too much time. No, I prepared myself this time. That is the loudest door sound. That is the loudest door I've ever heard. Let's get away from that. I'm also going to keep track of my steps. So look at all the steps I've done over the past few days during my trip to Japan. Alright, so right now I'm at 124 steps. We'll see how many steps I'm at by the end of the day. Might as well walk over the famous crossing here in Shibuya. Looks so much different at 7 in the morning. Oh, there's the train. So much different at 7 a.m. Like, you come here at any other time during the day, it's packed full of people. I sometimes wonder why the Shibuya crossing is so famous. Like, I've seen scramble crossings similar to these around Tokyo, So what makes this one stand out so much? I'm just curious. Stop me for a second. And just past 7 a.m., Shibuya Station isn't too crowded yet. I was hoping it would be the same on the train, so I can get a view out the front window. Let's see. Alright, made it to Ikebukuro, so I'm going to transfer onto the Seibu Ikebukuro line and go one stop and get a bunch of grade crossings on that line. So I got to figure out how to get there. Now the stations are getting busier as all the morning commuters make their connections. It may look really crowded, but you can see that they're all continuously moving and not bumping into each other, unlike back in America. Google Maps said the local train to the next stop is on platform 2. Should be coming in a few minutes. It's not here yet. Oh, I think it's coming now actually. Perfect. I couldn't get a shot of the doors closing. Oh well. There are so many children on this train now. I did not expect. They're probably all going to school. Alright, I'm at my first stop at Shinnamachi on the Seibu Ikebukuro line. So I'm gonna film a few trains here for a couple minutes and then exit the station and walk back to Mejiro Station and film 10 level crossings along the way. And you can probably already see 2 of them. They got their level crossing alarms at the stations too. I think that's enough rail fanning here for now. I gotta kind of keep these station rail fanning videos brief because I got a lot of places to go. It's almost 8 and I haven't even went to my first level crossing yet. Brought my tripod. So it's about 7:45 in the morning. I got 10 crossings I wanted to hit on this line. My goal is to get those done within the next hour. Any cool gachapons? Not really. As I make it to the first crossing of the day, the morning rush of trains is just starting off. Now the real fun begins.
Oh, another Harry Potter train.
This one's in a much tighter area. It's going to be more of a challenge for this one. At least it's not very sunny out today, so there won't be a lot of sun glare in these shots. Oh, how wrong I was about that. Their garbage trucks are even so tiny. This crossing's cool because it's like a V shape. Signal on this side guards them both, but I'd say these are pretty much 2 separate crossings. Alright, that's enough of the Seibu line. I've gone to all the crossings I wanted to. You can see the last one just behind me. But anyway, on to Mejiro Station. It took a little longer than I thought to film those 10 crossings, about an hour and 20 minutes. But so far so good. But the sun started to come out as the clouds parted. The weather said it was only supposed to be up to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, but the humidity would make it feel much hotter, as you'll see later on.
This looks like something you would see in like ancient Japan. Like when you think Japanese style buildings, you probably think of something like this. I also often don't vlog very much, so sorry if I sound a little unprofessional. A baked good would really be tasty right now, like a muffin or a donut, but I gotta keep going. It's really starting to get hot now. I guess the sun's coming out. I need the comfort of an air-conditioned train. Alright, I'm back at Ikebukuro, but now this time I'm going to the Tobu-Tojo line. I'm going to film that line for a little bit, as well as JR East at station Kita Ikebukuro. So, it's just like the Seibu line, I got to get the local train one stop. I think I'm doing well for progress so far. It's only 9:30 and I'm already finished the first area I'll be filming in, and I've only walked 4,855 steps. That doesn't seem like as many as I've thought, but hey, maybe it is. 5 minutes to the next local. Not bad at all.
Tracks number 4 and 5. Please keep a safe distance from the platform doors and platform fences.
Alright, Kita Ikebukuro. I'm gonna railfan the Tobu-Tojo line and I guess JR East too. And then you already hear some crossings. There's a bunch more crossings here that I'm gonna film. Thankfully this area, I think the first area on the Seibu line had the most walking for me, so hopefully the rest of the areas I won't be walking as much. So I'm gonna film some trains here and then move on. Go to the crossing back over that way and then come back for this one. Another thing is that rail fanning here in Japan feels more culturally accepted because it's such a huge hobby here, even more so than in America, I think. Like, so many people in Japan love trains, which is why I came here. But I feel like train spotting in Japan isn't as looked down upon as it is in the United States because so many more people do it, which is great for me. A lot of helicopters today. Alright, I'm gonna find my way to the crossing without getting lost. Oh, that sun is beating down on me now. Crap, I gotta make it across this. Now I gotta wait for it to open again. This one's a busy one. Okay, that one took a little long. That one was down a lot longer than I hoped. Oh crap. This one's cool though, because it has two different sounding alarms on each side. Like, this one's for the Tobu line and the other is for JR East. Alright, but I cannot spend more time at that crossing. I gotta keep going. I've always found it weird how the Tobu Railway crossing signs are different. They look kind of creepy to me. I don't know. I've always found them kind of creepy. And even the alarms sound a little different. But I kind of like them in a way. Thank God for this underground tunnel with this crossing. I love Japanese trains, but sometimes it gets to a point, like I love that they run frequently, but sometimes they run too frequently. And they don't give me any time to set up. Or I'm waiting at a crossing for longer than I want to. Thank God. Yeah, thank God this one has a tunnel. And it's much cooler, because man, it is getting very, very hot out there. My phone's starting to overheat a bit. It's not good. I'm now boxed in between these two. Kind of like that huge railroad crossing I went to last year. This one's kind of cool. It's like a weird looking overhead gantry, but it's like not the usual. It's like regular ones in Japan. Like it spans like the whole road. That's pretty cool. I thought it was supposed to be overcast today. That's what the weather said. Another thing I realized while being in Japan for a while, there are cones everywhere. Like even in the most random places, there's a cone. There's cones here, cones there. Well, that's construction, so that kind of makes sense. But still, you get my point. There's cones everywhere. I think PewDiePie pointed that out to me, and he's right. There's just cones everywhere. Oh my God, even more cones. What's with all the cones, Japan? All right, I'm done with the second area. Oh my God, this heat is getting to me. I'm like starting to want to quit, but it's not even lunch. It's not even noon yet. Sorry for the close-up. Thankfully, I'll be in an air-conditioned train for a while. And at my third spot, there's only one railroad crossing I want to go to. You'll see why I want to go to this next spot when I get there.
I was so glad to finally be back on the train. It was getting so hot, and the sun intensity was so high that I thought I would get a sunburn.
Alright, I'm at Akabane Station. Now, for the reason why I'm heading to Miyahara is if you notice me filming the train station melodies, like the departure jingles, that's why I'm going to Miyahara. The one at Miyahara, as well as Ichikawa, which I'll be going to later, they've all been stuck in my head for about a year now. And when JR East started replacing their old melodies with newer ones starting in October, I knew I had to go to Miyahara because most of the changes have been in urban stations in like the main city, like in Tokyo. So I'm hoping, since Miyahara is a suburban station, the old melody will still be there, as well as Ichikawa. So, but I just gotta, hopefully I'm not wasting time by going to Miyahara, only to hear the old melody is not there. But we'll see when we get to Miyahara. And the line that I'll be taking to get there is the Takasaki line. The train should be here in about 2 minutes.
The next station is Miyahara. The doors on the right side will open.
Okay. All right. Please. Yes! Alright, made it to Miyahara, and as you probably heard, the station melody that I came here for is still here. So I'm definitely gonna try to get a few recordings of that, and yeah, also railfan here. I think first I should hit up the level crossing and then I'll come back, because then I'm gonna have lunch here. Like, I'm gonna stay here for a bit, take a little break, film some Takasaki line trains, and then head back into Tokyo. You have no idea. The suspense was killing me when the train was pulling up to the station, and I was like, oh, is it gonna be there? Or is it not gonna be there? And it was still there. I'm like geeking out right now. This is such a nerdy thing, but I don't care. Why I love trains. Why did that look like a London Underground train? That looked like the front of an old London Underground tube train. That's so weird. What was that thing? I'm gonna skip seeing the next train. I need to eat real quick. Oh, you're kidding me. Really? I guess oh, there we go. Never mind then. The clouds are coming in and it's gotten a lot cooler. Thank God. I was getting really tired of being hot. That last recording was perfect. Like, super high quality. It cut off a bit at the end, but it was like the very end. So I'd say that was perfect. I'm gonna get on the next train back and head back into Tokyo and go to my next area, which should be pretty interesting. Back at Akabane, making my transfer.
I said the next spot would be interesting because I'll be going to see one of Tokyo's last remaining tram lines. It goes by several names like the Arakawa line or the Sakura tram. I won't be riding it, just walking around a bit and filming it, but it'll still be cool.
Alright, Oji Station. I'm gonna go see the Sakura trams and a few river crossings, of course. These crossings sound like the Odakyu line. Making pretty good time, but I think I've gotten, like, the feeling hit me. It's like, like the feeling of exhaustion. I'm just doing this since like 7 a.m. Really starting to hit me, but I'm still going. I need a drink. And of course they don't take IC card. Oh, but there's a garbage can here, which means I could throw my stuff out.
On to the next area. I do sometimes wish I could spend more time at each location, but with limited time and the amount of places I want to see, I kinda have to move quickly through each area. I hope the next time I come to Japan, I'll have more than one day to go out rail fanning. Not just to go to more places, but to spend more time in each area.
Well, I missed one. Try.
The next station is Ichihara, JB 27.
When I got to Ichikawa though, the exhaustion started to hit, and I started feeling not as great.
Alright, I made it to Ichikawa. the last major area that I'll be seeing a bunch of railroad crossings in. My head's starting to hurt, and I'm so tired, guys. But yeah, this is definitely going to be my last area, because I'm not sure how much more I can go on for. So I'm going to go to the Patrakios line, which their railroad crossings are kind of unique, and you'll see why if I can get it on camera. The one annoying thing about some public bathrooms in Japan is that they don't always have soap. Thankfully, that one has soap. It's they either don't have soap or they don't have a hand dryer. That one had soap but no hand dryer.
I made a quick pit stop to a nearby drugstore, and after some help, courtesy of Google Translate, I bought some headache medicine.
Hopefully this helps me a bit. Okay. Yeah, glad I came here now. It's almost 4. Thankfully this is my last area with railroad crossings. I don't get how people can wear full suits in this hot weather. I would actually die. Getting close. I can feel it. Want to know the sad thing? I feel a lot more comfortable and safer walking by myself through Japan than I do back home. Because Japan just feels so much safer. I mean, there's probably still bad areas, but probably not as many in Tokyo. None that I could think of. Look at this rusted sign. Might need a replacement. This crossing on both sides, really, I couldn't find a good filming shot, so I hope the side I did film on is at least decent. That's probably the best I'm going to get at this one. But hey, I'm getting close to my goal. Before that one, I was up to 25 crossings, and for this one, the Patrakios line, I said I would go to 6. Depending on how I feel and how long it takes me, I might do a 7th one, because for the trip as a whole, I would have filmed 50 railroad crossings. Because if I only went to 31 today, I would be at an uneven 49. So I don't know, maybe I'll go to a 50th. That's insane. Like 50 crossings in what, like a week? I mean, that's not too bad, but 31 or 32 of them were in just one day, which is insane. But hey, in a country where rail transport dominates and there's many grade crossings, it's possible. Like, it's possible. Would I recommend anyone else do this? No, but I'm just crazy. Oh, and I'm already at my 2nd railroad crossing. As you can probably hear, when there's 2 trains coming on this line, after the first one passes, like the speed of the alarm like doubles. Hopefully I can get some better audio shots of that one. Just got the perfect shot of the crossing alarm in 2 times speed, pretty much. I'll show you that. One thing you probably asked me is, why don't I make videos like this like back in my home, back in New Jersey, back in the United States? First off, something like this just isn't possible in the United States. Like, there's nowhere in the country that I can go to over 30 crossings in one day and film a ton of trains at. 30 in a week, sure, like Chicago maybe, but not in a day like you can here. Second, it just wouldn't be as interesting. Like today, this journey was interesting because it's all done by train. In the United States, I'd get around each crossing with my car, and that just wouldn't be interesting. Like I film one crossing, and then I get in my car and go to another crossing. Like, no, trains are way more entertaining. That's why this day, I've been planning for several months. That's why I did this sort of thing last year. And that's why I wanted to do this year too. I'm so grateful that I was able to come to Japan 2 years in a row. Last year, I didn't know I would be coming to Japan again. And unfortunately, this might be my last trip to Japan for quite a while, mainly due to financial reasons. Like, a lot of stuff has gotten more expensive. We planned this trip back last July of 2024, literally 2 months after I got home. Unless I get the money to pay for my own trip, then this is my last trip coming here for a while. So that's why I asked you guys to please like and subscribe and watch my videos. It really means a lot to me. All right, I'm approaching my next crossing. All right, that was my 31st railroad crossing, which officially means I've filmed every railroad crossing that I plan to film on this day trip. But it's about 4:45. I'm gonna take the train back one stop to Ichikawamama station, and we'll see how I feel to film one more. But I'm gonna train spot here for a few minutes. My other battery pack died on me. That lasted a good like 5 hours, so good thing I brought this one, so to keep my phone charged, because if I didn't bring another one, my phone would be dead. So always bring a bunch of portable chargers when rail fanning. I decided I'm gonna go to that one more crossing. You know what? Screw it. That gate was like, you're not coming through me. You're going the other way. I'm getting kind of sad now because this isn't just my last crossing of the day. This is the last crossing I'll be filming on the whole trip. Today is Wednesday, and I leave on Friday. And I'm definitely not going to be train spotting tomorrow. So this will be my last Japanese railroad crossing I'll be filming for quite a while. Let's make it count. Buses. Railroad crossing filmers' worst nemesis. Many instances where I've filmed railroad crossings and a bus gets in the way as soon as the crossing activates. Ruined many shots. Surprisingly, that hasn't happened today. Like, this is the first and only railroad crossing I've been to where there's a bus line crossing it. So maybe bus lines don't cross that many crossings here in Tokyo. Goodbye, Japanese railroad crossings. Until next time. But I am officially crazy. I've been here for a week now, and I've gone to 50 railroad crossings. Am I crazy? I mean, no. If it's possible, I would say no. Because this is the only day that I've been out all day long filming trains and railroad crossings. The other times have just been for a few hours. So I wouldn't say this was insane. To some people it is, but to me it's not. For Japan. Oh, my poor feet are starting to hurt. I'll have to see how many steps I've done after when I get back to Shibuya. This is actually the day I feel the least like a tourist, and the cool thing about being a rail fan traveling to Japan is that you go to places that literally no other tourist would go to unless it's for a very specific reason, which is, in my case, trains. Like, I haven't seen any other tourists the whole time I've been out. I've seen other races of people other than Japanese, but they didn't look like tourists. So, yeah. that's enough for railfanning at Ichikawa. I feel like I've overstayed my welcome trying to get those station jingles. I'm going to try to get this one more time. This train I'm taking home. Thank you, Lords of JR East. Shit. Emergency brakes just been applied. Shit, I wonder what happened. We just stopped. The emergency brakes. I don't know why.
I never found out why the emergency brakes were applied since all the announcements were in Japanese. But after a few minutes we started moving again, so it was probably a minor reason. Hopefully. Okay, so this part was completely on me here. You see that car I walked into? Well, that's not a normal train car. This car is known as the green car, which is basically first class seating. To be able to sit here, not only do you have to pay the basic train fare, but you also have to pay extra for a seat. The train was leaving the station, and this was the closest door to where I was, and I immediately knew I couldn't be in here. And I wasn't going to pay extra for a seat just to go 2 stops. So I tried getting to the regular cars. But since it was also the height of rush hour, both the cars around the green car were completely full, and I couldn't even squeeze my way inside. I thought, okay, no problem, I'll just stand by the door. And if an attendant comes by, I'll just explain and say I'm getting off at Shinjuku, and the cars around were completely full. There was a group of German tourists I met in the car that were in the same situation as me. But an attendant did come by, and wasn't too happy we were all standing in the door areas. We both tried explaining the situation, but she didn't understand a lick of English. She pretty much tried telling us, buy a ticket or get out at the next stop, which is what we were doing anyway. So yeah, even if the train is crowded, don't get into the green car if you're not buying a seat. My last train ended up being the busiest train I've ridden on the entire day. I was barely able to squeeze myself on board, but thankfully it was just a short ride back to Shibuya Station. I still can't believe I managed to pull this off again. I mean, 32 railroad crossings, 5 areas around Tokyo, and a whole lot of train spotting all in one day. This was definitely one of the highlights of my trip for me.
Back in Shibuya after, 12 hours of non-stop train spotting. I think that is the longest I've train spotted since last year. I think I've had enough. That sounded negative. That was really fun. I'm so glad I did that. Like, in the end, it's all worth it. I'm gonna get out the station. Very big difference from when I was here this morning. And what's a better way to end a day than to go to the place where you started at? Got me the Fam Cheeky, the famous Family Mart Fam Cheeky. I'm about to destroy this when I get back to my room. Final step count, 20,319 steps. Actually, that's not as, I thought I walked more. That's about similar to like 2 days ago. And believe it or not, that's not even the most steps I've taken on this trip. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, guys. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe to my channel and check out the playlist of all my Japan videos from this year and last year. And be on the lookout for each individual video from this trip. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.